What's up everybody, it's Kerry and we're in the hot rod shop today. We're working on my Dodge D150 and we're gonna show you how you can really do an upgrade on your car with an old master cylinder and brake booster. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of this and switch it up to this, the Summit Racing 7-inch dual diaphragm brake booster, and this, the billet aluminum black powder coated Summit Racing master cylinder. I'll show you how to install this and how to bench bleed your master cylinder so you get the best performance out of it. So I guess now all that's left to do is get to work. All right, so our first step is to install the brake booster. One of the nice things about this brake booster is it comes with lock nuts. So before I actually install it on the firewall, what I want to do is I want to decide where I want the valve at. So with this, you know, usually you can run it up like this so you can kind of point it over towards the motor and stuff. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it down so I can go like that and I can actually hide those hoses a little bit better on the firewall. So you aren't gonna see a lot of the hoses and stuff. So one of the other things I like about these new boosters from Summit is the fact that if you measure your bolt pattern for your original brake booster, so I haven't put the nuts on yet. So if you measure this, you measure across, that's one measurement. So this is probably like 3 and something. And then you measure down and that's probably 3 and something. You can get a matching pattern on a brake booster for it. So you can actually upgrade from like your, manual brakes to a power brake setup, and pretty easily actually.
Power brakes use a vacuum booster to reduce pedal effort, delivering stronger, more consistent stopping power with less fatigue. They're also essential for modern disc brake conversions.
So that's one of the reasons I'm doing this too, is because this fit, and it fits a lot of different cars. I know this will actually fit, this is a pretty common bolt pattern, so I know it fits a lot of different Mopar cars. I believe it's Chevy pattern, and I think a lot of Fords use it too. So once you measure your bolt pattern, you can actually go on the Summit's website. You can find a bolt pattern that'll actually match your booster. Just like that. Now we'll go inside the truck and we'll put the nuts on. So now this is your pedal rod extension. So what you want to do is make sure that it pushes in, pushes out. Looks pretty golden to me. So now that we have it all adjusted and everything, we're going to go ahead and tighten our bolts back up and then put a nice little clip here. Oh wow. Just like that, our clip's on, we're good to go. So now let's move on to the master cylinder. So now that we got the brake booster installed, we're moving over to the bench so we can bench bleed our master cylinder. All of this stuff you see right here comes with this master cylinder in box, which is pretty cool. And your bench bleeding kit. And it comes with this. This is actually pretty cool. This is a plunger for it. So what this does, if you're using it as like a manual brake setup, you don't use this. If you're using it as a power brake setup like we are, you're going to use this to go onto your brake booster. So our first step is going to be taking this rubber boot off. Just comes right off. And then this is where the plunger goes. Put your plunger right in there. You're set. Second step, we're going to take the lid off. So then we take our lid and our gasket off and we can see the inside of the booster. So it's pretty nice, pretty clean. Don't need to clean it out. Looks like it was already tested with brake cleaner or with brake fluid. Then we pop out our little yellow caps, if you will. So your bench bleeding kit comes with 2 of these little guys. These are what go in these holes. So you see the little hole in there? You take the longer pointed side, stick it right in that hole, make sure it's tight, and you're good to go. All right, so once you get that in, you're going to take your two clear plastic tubes and install them. Those go on the other end of that, like so. So the other thing it comes with is this nice little handy dandy clip. So what this does, it's got two holes in it. Stick these hoses through these holes, and then you stick it right there on your separation. So this way it kind of keeps them in when you're bleeding it and everything. So now it's time to actually bench bleed it. And we're using our old trusty Vise because it's old and it works great. But one thing, we have these. They're nice little magnetic clamps. They're actually really cool. We carry them at Summit. They are non-marring, so you can actually tighten stuff down and not chip the paint on it, not scratch it. So if you're doing like AN fittings or something, it works really well for them as well. See, just magnetizes right on. All right, so one of the other things I like to do when I'm doing a painted or powder coated piece like this, because it's super nice and it's going on a nicer build, I don't want to scratch it or anything, I use our microfiber towels. Put one on each side, that way you don't scratch it. All right, so I found the best way to put it in is kind of like that. You kind of got to thread it through. Snug it up. Don't tighten it too much because it is aluminum. You can bend it or crack it, which you definitely don't want to do. Make sure your tube stayed in. And now that you got it in the vise, what you're going to do, grab whatever brake fluid you're going to use. I'm using .3 Lucas oil products. There's a bunch of different products out there. This is what we use a lot of the times. This or our Summit Racing .4 racing stuff. So now, all right, so now what you want to do is get a blunt instrument. So either I'm using just a regular good old extension. You can use a screwdriver, extension, piece of wood, whatever you got handy. But you're going to put it right here on that pin. Ooh, try not to spill it on yourself. And just push it in. All right, so now if you come over here and check this out, you can see bubbles coming out of it. Those bubbles, what those mean is it's got air in it. So what you want to do is keep doing this until you get no bubbles, which, sweet, I think we're there. All right, so as you can see, we have it back on the bench now. We took off the brake bleeder hoses, which I'll show you how we did that in a second here. But first, let's put the lid on it so we don't spill it everywhere. Put your gasket on first. Get your lid. Put your lid on. Make sure it lines up. Then we take the bolts we took out. All right, so there's all four started. Now we're just gonna tighten them up. Like most stuff on an automotive or mechanical, I usually do like a cross pattern just to make sure it's not sucking down one side at a time, you know. Kind of like tightening a wheel, lug nuts on it. All right, so there we go. We got our master cylinder bench bled. And so this is what I did on the other side. When I took the hoses out, I had a buddy, which is Steve, the camera guy. He helped me out. He pulled the hoses. I put the plugs back in. So that should have technically stopped the air from going back in because it's bleeding down and out. If it didn't, it's okay. I'm gonna bleed everything again, probably 2 or 3 more times before I get this thing out on the road. So it should be good. So, and as long as you don't hit this, it didn't suck anything in. So, all right, so now it's time to set up your proportioning valve. Comes with this nice little bracket here, and all you do is line up your holes on it. like so. So the other thing you want to make sure too, before you do it, make sure you know which side you want your knob on. So I'm doing it this way because I want it towards the outside of the truck. It also has FI, RI, RO, FO, FO. So what those are is it's front out, rear out, front in, rear in. So you know where everything goes. It's nice and labeled, which is really nice. It also comes with some nice hardware here. But I have a theme going on mine, and I'm using button heads for everything, so I grabbed some button heads out of our inventory. Stick it through like that. Put one of my washers on. Then your nut. So it goes like that, and then we're going to tighten it up. All right, so now it's all tightened up. And if you want to get fancy, which I will, I'm going to trim a little bit of that excess off to make it flush, because this thing is honestly probably never coming back off. So we're back over at the truck now, and I'm going to show you how this should go on, but not exactly how I'm going to do it. Which that's the cool thing about this, you can do it kind of any way you want. So with the proportioning valve, it should go on like this. Because I changed the orientation of the booster and have the vacuum plug down here, it doesn't fit anymore. All right, so Steve, the camera guy, and I were talking. There actually is a way to put this on like it's supposed to be. So first, for those of you that want to actually run your proportioning valve underneath like it's shown, what you're going to do, you're going to install that, and then we have these. They're Summit Racing aluminum spacers. You're going to put a 1/4-inch spacer on here. All right, so we got our spacers on. Now you can put your bracket on. Get one of your nuts started. Then you just start tightening these bad boys up. All right, so there you have it. We got it all finished up. And I must say, it looks pretty darn good. Make sure, if you're not going to hook up your lines and anything yet, make sure you throw a rag or something on your frame rail so the brake fluid doesn't eat your paint off. But this stuff's actually pretty good. So in case you've never seen this stuff, this is the Summit Racing chassis and roll bar paint. It is killer. I use this stuff on everything under the cars. I use it on most of the black stuff I paint on the cars. And it comes in matte or semi-gloss. It's really killer, and it's really durable too. So this is it. It's really easy. It's a super nice setup. It really modernizes your car, makes it look a lot better, and it performs a lot better. If you want to try it, go online at summitracing.com, get your bolt pattern, and try it for yourself. It's pretty easy, pretty nice upgrade for your car. All right, so I'm using polished stainless on mine, but there's a ton of different ways to do it. And I know Summit carries everything from NICOP to regular stainless to polished stainless, all the way up to AN, and the fittings for AN to brake lines. So if you guys got a special way of doing it, or if you guys have a cool way of doing it, let us know in the comments. Tell us what your favorite brake line is and why, or what you ran on your car. While you're at it, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on cool content like this. We'll see you on the next project.